Welcome to Vacuum Wars, and to our comparison between two cordless vacuums made by the air purifier company Levoit. Levoit surprised us a while back with their first cordless vacuum, the LVAC-200, which was one of the most impressive cordless vacuums we've seen at that price, and it was quickly named our best budget cordless vacuum at that time. And to this day, it's still the highest ranking cordless vacuum in its price range in our ranking system. Recently though, Levoit has come out with an upgraded version, the LVAC-300, which is selling for about twice as much as the original LVAC-200. So we bought one and put them both through all kinds of tests to figure out if the new LVAC-300 is worth the extra money or if you should just stick to the budget champion, the LVAC-200. Links to both products in the description, and let's get started. The Levoit LVAC-200 and 300 models are both cordless vacuums that can work well on both hard floors and carpets. They look very similar in terms of the way that the handle and floor head are shaped, though they are different colors. As I said, the LVAC-200 is quite a bit cheaper than the 300, so it begs the question, what kind of things does the more expensive one have that the cheaper one doesn't? For one thing, the 300 has more power. In our sealed suction test, the LVAC-300 had more raw power than the 200, though they both had higher than the average amount. The LVAC-300 also had more airflow and unsealed suction than the cheaper 200, but not by that much. The other difference is the battery. The LVAC-300 has 60 minutes on low power compared to 50 minutes on low power for the 200. We also tested their max power setting and found that they both had around 12 minutes, and Levoit says they can get about 40 minutes on their medium power setting, which is probably the most useful power setting to use. So the better battery on the 300 doesn't seem to change all that much in terms of time, just power output during that time. The final big benefit of getting the 300 over the 200 is the attachment set. While they both come with two attachments, the 300 comes with a motorized upholstery tool, which did seem to work well in our tests on upholstery, where the LVAC-200 only had a standard non-motorized upholstery tool. But the interesting thing is that is about where the benefits of the more expensive LVAC-300 end, because the cheaper LVAC-200 is as good or better in some of the following ways. As far as their most basic job of picking up debris from the surfaces of hard floors and carpet, they were both incredibly good. They were both tied and above average with carpet debris pickup, and though the LVAC-300 was just a touch better on hard floors, it was almost too close to call. In our carpet deep clean test, where we see how good they are at picking up sand from medium carpet, they tied at 96%, which is higher than average for cordless vacuums of any price. They both had active hair removal systems on their floor heads, which remove longer hair from the brush as you vacuum, which is an important new feature, and they tied with perfect scores in our 14-inch hair tangle test. Also, in our Crevice pickup test, the cheaper LVAC-200 was definitely better than the 300, which was interesting. Filtration is really important, and it used to be really rare to see cordless vacuums in this price range have good filtration, but both of these models did better than expected, and though it was really close, I actually think the LVAC-200 did slightly better in our fog test than the 300. As far as ease of use, as I said, they are very similar in terms of construction, but the handle on the 200 is slightly lighter, which makes it slightly easier to maneuver and to use with handheld attachments. But in general, I would say that the longer handle makes both of them not as good for handheld tasks because of the somewhat odd center of gravity. That being said, they were both lighter than average and very maneuverable as vacuums with easy to pivot swivel heads with bright LED lights mounted in front. So, after adding up all these scores, what was the Vacuum Wars verdict between these two products? While the LVAC-300 technically ranked a little higher in our system, number 20 out of 120 tested overall, compared to 23 overall for the LVAC-200, they both are ranking amazingly high for their price. But the big story to me is the price to points calculation. When you consider the price, the original LVAC-200 is by far the highest ranking cordless vacuum in its price range, and it's a no-brainer pick for the best value cordless vacuum right now in our opinion. And while you may want to pay the, I think, significant extra cost for the upgraded 300 model with slightly more battery life, suction power, bin capacity, and a powered handheld tool, for me, the LVAC-200 remains the one I would choose. Links in the description to both, as well as to the Vacuum Wars Top 10 cordless vacuum list on our website, which we update weekly. And be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars before you leave. Thanks for watching. All of the links in the description are updated regularly to reflect our current favorite vacuums in multiple categories. You'll also find links to the Vacuum Wars website in the description, where we have more detailed lists of our favorite products, like our new top 20 robot vacuums list, which is updated weekly.